listeners, and welcome back. Today we are going to be discussing my Fallout story, how I got into the world of Fallout and watching the series. With me today is my brother.
What's up?
Here to help fill in the parts of the story. So let's begin.
So essentially it all started with me playing a game called Fallout 4, and during the beginning of the game my sister ended up coming in and seeing the opening, and it intrigued her enough to come in periodically after that to check out the game and what it was about. And basically from that little initial scene that she's seen at the start of the game piqued her interest to learn about the story and how it's different to our reality and all the different factions and, background story behind Vault-Tec and all that kind of stuff.
Then we fast forward to when the show comes out, and I still wasn't 100% involved until I think I walked in halfway through episode 1 and sort of saw a bit of it, and then that's when you were going on about the bomb dropping scene, and that's when I decided to take a look at that, which is at the very beginning of episode 1.
And that scene has huge significance to anyone that's played the games, because again, this is a big spoiler warning, but in the games nobody truly knows who launched the first nukes, and that opening scene to the TV show proves definitively that Vault-Tec, the company, were the ones that actually dropped the nukes. It was just mind-blowing the first time I seen that.
So from there, we continued to watch the rest of the show, and I was able to be filled in on all of the little Easter eggs and extras and stuff from my brother as he has played the game, so I got a little bit more insight in that, into the world.
And basically by insight she means backstory about what ghouls are, the factions like I mentioned before, like the Brotherhood of Steel, the NCR, the Enclave, and then also just a little bit of backstory about, Vault-Tec and what kind of company they were before the war, and the different experiments and shit they did to the vaults.
From that, like I said, we ended up continuing it and loved it. I would say my favorite character to follow was the Gould's character, as just had the most interesting story from the past and the present. So he was definitely the most likable out of everyone in the cast. And as an extra side note that I feel very proud about is when I was watching it for the very first time, and the very first scene he had with the dog, I immediately knew from that scene that I was like, those two are going to become a team. And then my brother kept on denying it, being like, nah, they won't be anything, and I just knew within my soul that they were going to be companions by the end of it.
Well, obviously I had already watched the show, and then she called the fact that they were going to end up together by the end of the show, so I just didn't want to spoil it, so I just denied it and I lied.
They did become companions, and it seems like everyone likes it. Felt really proud about being able to foresee that.
Which is really interesting that they used the dog and the Gould for posters, because it was the same marketing decision they used for Fallout 4, which can be one of your companions throughout the main game.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. That was the basic story of how we got into Fallout, favorite characters. And then, I guess it just means that we're just dedicated fans now to the show and can't wait to see what they bring out next and what's more to come.
Of course, I'm going to be looking forward to the third season coming out. I am super, super excited to see where this story ends up.
Let us know if you enjoyed, if you had a story leading up to Fallout, and let us know your thoughts on the show as well. Thanks for listening.